It is 9 o'clock right now. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team. We have been streaming with you for about 57, 58 minutes. I think I was in here around 8:02, 8:03 after the first severe thunderstorm warning was issued in North Georgia. The first one was expired at 8:45. Then the National Weather Service issued another severe thunderstorm warning for areas of North Georgia, including Gordon County, Southern Murray, and also Gilmer County. That just expired at 9 o'clock. So the yellow polygon that we were tracking there in North Georgia has disappeared because that severe thunderstorm warning now has expired. They are not issuing another severe thunderstorm warning from that cell because it's weakening moving into eastern Gilmer County. Now, earlier we had winds around 60 miles an hour. Now, we still have some wind gusts around 40 miles an hour with them, but that is below what we would consider severe. So in Gilmer County, you're still getting heavy rain that's moving into southern Fannin. That'll then move into areas of Union County, also into Lumpkin County. But we also have been watching these cells here that have been coming out of Bartow County. We had a lot of thunder and lightning there near Cartersville, right here. Now that is moving up into parts of Pickens County. Really heavy rain, also into western Cherokee County, getting toward Canton. This still has a lot of lightning with it, even though those winds don't meet the criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning. So even though it's not technically severe, those of you in those areas of Pickens County and Cherokee County, you have heavy rain and you have a lot of lightning. So you're seeing a lot of those lightning flashes, as well as hearing the thunder and experiencing the heavy rain as that keeps moving over toward the east. And then come down a little bit more, still there in western Cobb County, there around Ackworth and Kennesaw, heavy rain coming in there. Dallas, Paulding County, you're getting a lot of rain, almost county-wide there, with, again, winds that could be around 40 miles an hour. A couple of lightning strikes there around Dallas, and then some sporadic lightning strikes still back into Polk County. But we're seeing things weakening there in Polk County and also Haralson County and Carroll County. Still a couple of isolated stronger storms there along I-20, between I-20 and Carrollton. And then that's going to move into Douglasville. Paulding County is getting it. West Cobb, you are next to get in on that heavy rain. But the weakening trend continues here as this system gets closer to Atlanta. Yes, I do think this rain is going to make it into Atlanta, but it's just not going to be as strong as it was. Now, we still have some of this lightning back into Anniston. Additional lingering showers there from Anniston, not too far off from Talladega, there along I-20 in Alabama. So that still is going to move into Cleburne and Randolph. That should also weaken a little bit more. But again, in Cleburne and Randolph, yeah, you still have some rain there, but it's not over. You have another wave coming in from Anniston that will have some thunder and lightning there with it. So that's what we have been watching, and that's what we're going to continue watching as we go through the rest of the evening hours in these storms that are going to be pushing into Atlanta, but in a weakening trend moving into Atlanta with, again, mainly rain, some thunder and lightning around, but the winds that are below criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning. So here's a closer look at the city. Now, the green that you're seeing in Atlanta right now, these are false echoes. I've been explaining here. So we get these false echoes that happen on this radar mode here at this time of night. And I usually switch modes, but I'm not switching modes right now. And I'm just reminding you that this is not rain over Atlanta. The light green that you see there, where you get into the dark greens and definitely the yellows and reds, that is actual rain. But the reason I want to keep it into this mode, because it's higher resolution, I can zoom in tighter to these storms and get a better look at them based on the lower resolution, that if I had switched modes out there, that would block out those false echoes. So there's that leading edge, again, coming out of Gilmer County, moving into southern Fannin, Lumpkin County near Dahlonega, southern parts of Union County, as that heavy rain continues to move on through, and also that thunder and lightning too. Things are calmer back into Somerville and also Armurchie. It's just this part right here from Cartacay down to Jasper, down to Waleska, and down toward Canton. This is all still really heavy rain moving into Dawson County, moving through Pickens County, moving through western Cherokee County, thunder and lightning and heavy rain with that. That's crossing over 575. Not as much down now over into Somerville and Armurchie and Rome, starting to calm down a little bit too. and not as much back into Alabama. So this is one wave that's coming through here north of I-20. There you again see Paulding County moving into West Cobb. Carroll getting in on some of that, Cleburne and Randolph, more of that coming in from Anniston. That'll keep pushing on over to the east. Let's do another lightning count. I know I just did one probably, what, 5-8 minutes ago? I believe when I did the count in this same area, again, I start right here, include just a little bit of west of Alabama, including Cleburne and Randolph, but I'm not including that stuff in Anniston. Earlier we had 44 lightning strikes, now it's 42, so it's only down a couple of strikes. So that's not anything significant of any weakening or a lightning count drastically coming down a little bit. If we saw this go from 42 to 25, that would be something that I would like to see if we're seeing these storms weakening, because we would see that lightning count coming down pretty drastically. But it's only down a couple of strikes. I'll do another one of these lightning counts for you coming up here in just a little bit. Here is a look at what we're watching. In fact, I'm going to go ahead, just go into this mode here. And you can see these storms, South Alabama, more back into Mississippi, and then more in Tennessee, Arkansas, southern Missouri. So these are the waves of rain that are going to keep pushing through our area during the day tomorrow. That's going to make it a little wetter. And that's why we have an 11 Alive weather impact alert in effect here for tomorrow, as we're going to see these waves of rain coming in. Here is a live look right now in these areas of Rome, where we've had some good rain coming through Floyd County and into the Rome area. The streets are still dry. We still have some rain coming down. Like if you look, can you see in this light right here, that street light? You can see those raindrops that are coming down. And you see some of the rain there on the street as well. So still some rain in Rome, just not as heavy as it was a little bit earlier. I know this is a dark picture. This is our University of North Georgia camera in Lumpkin County. I'm just looking at this because sometimes when you have rain on the lens, it will kind of disperse some of those raindrops, and you can see that in the light, but nothing really too crazy going on right now up in Lumpkin County. Now, look at the high temperature today. What do you see here? High of 93. Yeah, that's hot, right? That is 11 degrees above average at 82. But I want you to see this. The record high for today's date is 93. That was set in 1980. And again, on this date last year in 2024, we hit 93. So that tied the record for today's date. Our low this morning was 71, a mild start. We should be around 64 to start for this time of year. Now, we mentioned yesterday that the rain wouldn't come in until later. We've got some of that rain on the west side right now, but we have not had any rain in the official rain bucket yet at Hartsfield-Jackson. So that rain deficit grows. We're now more than 3.5 inches below where we should be in rainfall for the year. And you can kind of see what we're talking about with those mild temperatures this morning. And then we moved up today, 92 at 4 o'clock, but then we hit 93 between 4 and 5 o'clock. That has been the official high for today, which tied the record for today's date. So here's what we're watching with our severe weather threat. The Weather Service actually updated this. Now, I'm gonna need to move that over. They just updated this a moment ago. That severe threat level 1 risk is now, it was just northwest Georgia, and now it's pretty much along that area of rain that's been moving through, where we have that potential that a couple of storms could turn severe. But I do think that weakening trend is going to continue with this. Then, during the day tomorrow, as additional waves of rain move through, the rest of us are in this level 1 risk for some severe storms. Again, we don't think it's going to be widespread. We're just talking about some isolated, stronger storms rolling through our area. A good bit of rain, those waves coming through, but not everybody's going to get a severe thunderstorm. I think that would be a little more isolated. And any of those isolated storms that develop would have winds around, have mainly strong winds, and maybe some small hail, heavy rain, and also thunder and lightning. This wouldn't be a real tornadic type event or anything. Now look at these temperatures. We got up to 93 today. The sun has been down since around 7:31. Right now it's 9:09, 9:10. We're still at 85 in Atlanta. We're still holding on to some heat, so that's still hot stuff here. Covington's 84, Milledgeville is 81. But Peachtree City is down to 79. I want you to look, though, to the north, where we've had more clouds and we've had some of those showers. It is 73 in Canton, thanks to rain-cooled air. Marietta beginning to cool back to 78 now as the rain is moving in. Carrollton 74, Rome 75, Gainesville 79. So the thicker clouds up in North Georgia and the rain nearby has helped to cool things off there a little bit faster. Tomorrow, we start off at 72. We could see rain at any time. Now, we don't think it's going to rain all day long, but we can see rain at any time as these waves are going to be pushing through, and temperatures up to about 83 degrees during those afternoon hours. So here's what we're watching tonight. This model isn't totally picking up all of the rain that we've had so far, but this is just kind of a rough idea of what we've got going on right now. But notice how that moves to the east. It starts diminishing a little bit more, but we're still not going to be finished with it. We're still going to have some additional scattered showers here overnight, and then in the morning for your drive into work, spotty showers for your drive. Not raining maybe your whole drive in, but maybe just some of those spotty showers around. Lunchtime, some breaks. Maybe not as much rain then. And then in the afternoon, additional showers developing, but not widespread. Moderate to heavy rain in some of those spots during the day tomorrow. And then in the evening tomorrow night, this is at 10 o'clock, some additional areas of rain. Not as much in north or northwest Georgia, but some good rain around metro Atlanta and over to the east of us Thursday night. Then going into Friday morning, still some of those showers around, and then that moves on over to the east and starts to fall apart on Friday. But the rain chances aren't over yet on Friday. They do come down from 60% to 40%, but we'll still have some of the spotty showers around. And then even getting into Saturday, rain chances on the lower end, most of that moisture is going to move out, but we're going to hold on to about a 20% chance for some spotty showers on Saturday as we get some of this wraparound moisture on the backside of the system that could still kick up a little bit of rain on Saturday. But we don't think it's going to be widespread or anything like that. Here's the moisture map. The orange and yellows that you see here over us tomorrow, that's that good area of moisture that would cause some rain here. And then into Friday, the bulk of that moves to the east with that thicker moisture, but still a little bit here on the backside that could give us some of those spotty showers. Same thing here for Sunday, 20% chance for a shower. But see how the drier air is trying to move in? This is the other thing I want you to watch. We have a potential tropical system that could be just off of the southeastern coastline going into next week. Most of that tropical moisture would stay well out to the east of us, but could it spin back a little bit more into our area? That's why we're holding on to a low rain chance going into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But I really think some of this drier air is going to be coming in here on Wednesday. So here's the rain chance, 60% tomorrow, 40% Friday, and then low rain chances Saturday and Sunday. I know if you're going to the Georgia game, my daughter has already texted me a few times, Dad, what about Saturday? Is it going to rain for the Georgia game? What about tailgating? It's a low rain chance at 20%. Not a lot of rain around during the day on Saturday, but just be aware it may not be dry all day. You might have a spotty shower that you have to deal with, but it would be brief and it wouldn't last all day. Here's a look at the rain comparison. The models have been differing a little bit on how much rain we're going to get. The American model is still showing more than an inch of rain. We've been saying between 1 and 2 inches, but the European model is showing the 1 to 2 inches on the north side and lighter amounts, less than an inch here from Atlanta down to the south and west. East of us, maybe more than an inch of rain coming through there too. All right, let's spend a little time talking about Tropical Storm Umberto. This formed earlier today. This is the system we've been watching for days now, since it was coming off the coast of Africa. Now it's in an area more conducive for development. It has winds of 40 miles an hour, moving west-northwest at about 15 miles an hour. So I want you to watch, though, how over the next couple of days it maintains tropical storm strength, most likely until about Saturday afternoon when it becomes a hurricane as a Cat 1, and then potentially a Category 2 Sunday into Monday. Here's the Atlantic coastline. Here is Bermuda. This may thread the needle going between the Atlantic coastline and Bermuda, and then curve back up toward the north and also to the east. So we're not overly concerned about this system having any big impacts on or making any type of landfall on the United States, but you know things can change. We're going to keep watching it. There's another system that we're watching, all right? So this is Umberto. This is another system here near Puerto Rico and just to the south of Puerto Rico where we have this X that you see there. Once this moves up to north of Haiti and the Dominican Republic, north of Cuba, but look at this, you got Turks and Caicos down here and the Bahama Island chain here. As this moves up into this area, this is going to be a little more favored to develop either into a tropical depression or a tropical storm. Hurricane Center giving it about an 80% chance of developing into a tropical depression or a tropical storm. But the models are also showing it either curving away or struggling to compete with Umberto, and Umberto may kind of rob some of the energy from it, and it could just dissipate here off of the eastern coast of Florida, but we'll have to keep an eye on that as it does that. Let me go back. I want to show you the spaghetti models here really quick. It kind of skipped over that before we end here, and before we end, I'm going to go back and show you the rain in North Georgia. But here's a look if these spaghetti models are going to show up for me. Please do. There we go. I want to show you both of these systems. Number one, this is Umberto. Again, kind of threading the needle between the U.S. coast and Bermuda, curving away. This is that other one. The next name on the list would be Imelda. If this becomes a tropical storm, that's the next name on the list. So that would go really through the Bahamas. Whether or not it's a tropical storm or a hurricane by then, we don't know. Because again, this is going to be struggling because of a lot of the ingredients are going to be sucked over into Umberto. But we'll watch this. The models are also showing it curving away. A couple of models are showing it potentially going into North Carolina. So we just have to keep an eye on that over the next few days. That wouldn't be until most likely the middle of next week if that happens. So we'll just keep a good close eye on that as well. And again, here's a look at that 80% area there where that storm could develop. So those chances are pretty high. Here's the European model showing the rain for our area tomorrow. Good coverage of that moisture around. Friday, a bulk of that to the east of us. And here you'll see on Saturday just some light green color indicating a very low risk for some isolated showers. Sunday again, 20% chance. And then there we're watching out to the east of us whether or not this is going to develop into anything and move away, or if it's just going to dissipate. But we'll hold on to the low rain chances at about 20% going into those areas of next week. And temperatures look like they're going to stay in the lower 80s going into next week as well. So before I get to your 7-day forecast, I want to do another look at radar as these storms are approaching metro Atlanta right now, where we have the heavier rain on the north side. All right, while I'm right here, I want to do that look where you can see the lightning count, northwest Georgia down to Cleburne and Randolph, over toward Athens. 30 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes. So remember earlier we had 44 lightning strikes in a 15-minute period. Now it's down to 30. I'm liking what I'm seeing with that. Still a lot of lightning, but just not as much as we had. And that's an indicator that these storms are weakening as they continue moving over toward the east. But what I want you to be aware of, for those of you on the north side, north of I-20 here, in Cobb County, Paulding County, Bartow County, Cherokee County, heavy rain here, heavy rain from Canton northward. This is going to keep moving through Cobb, so just soak up this good heavy rain that's about to come into Cobb. Winds around 40 miles an hour or less. They're not severe, but still some good rain coming through there. And then pushing in and weakening a little bit more going into the metro area. The lightning count is coming down. These storms will continue weakening just a little bit more here as they move over to the east. So I've gone way over time. I'm going to go ahead and let me end with a 7-day forecast. I know I told you I was going to show you that. I've been on for about an hour and 18 minutes or hour and 15 minutes tracking these storms moving through here on streaming. Here's that 7-day outlook where we have those temperatures that are up to 83 tomorrow. 11 Alive weather impact alert in effect as we see the waves of rain moving through. Again, not a widespread severe weather event, just some isolated stronger storms, a lower end severe weather threat tomorrow. And then Friday, 40% chance for showers, temperatures at 81. Low rain chances Saturday and Sunday at 20%. 20% Monday and Tuesday, and then mainly drier Wednesday with those highs holding in the lower 80s pretty much throughout the period. 83, maybe closer to mid-80s here too. So thanks for watching this big-time extended weather update here on 11 Alive Plus and Weather Impact 24/7. We will have another update for you coming up tonight at 11 o'clock on 11 Alive News. And I may bump back on in a few minutes if I see these storms. Again, they're weakening, but if I see anything that I feel like I need to get on for as these are pushing through the Atlanta area, I may come on in just a little bit too. So keep an eye on radar here that we'll have up for you. And then if I'm not on between now and 11, we will be back on at 11 o'clock tonight as we're tracking these storms rolling through our area, and then more extended coverage. We've got a lot of special weather updates planned for you throughout the day tomorrow as we have this 11 Alive weather impact alert in effect. So thanks for watching. We'll see you later with more.